method. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you the other method. And this is what I call the back and forth method. With the back and forth method, the idea is that you are going to pick a place to start and you're going to just keep paying attention to what you're affecting. What I try to do is I try to look for a place where I have a 2 and I know that's where I want to start, like a little 2. Not like a group 2, but like a 2. So if I scroll along, where I'm seeing a 2 is right here. So if I got the 2, I know that means that I've got 2 of this group. And again, if the parentheses here helps you see it as a group, that's totally fine. So I could make my tabulated column and it'd be fine. Or we'll just do the back and forth. So I've got 2 NO3, so that means that the number of NO3s on the left needs to be a 2. So I knew there were 2 on the right. I just put a 2 on the left, knowing that I fixed my NO3. So that's awesome. And then I immediately look at the second guy. Okay, my AGs are off. I need 2 AGs, so I go to the other side and I just put a 2 right there. So instead of tabulating, I'm just aware of who I'm affecting when I put the number in. Let me show you over here. Again, I've written this HOH, and I'm putting parentheses to make sure you guys can see it. So again, I'm going to scroll for a 2. So here's my 2. So that's where I'm going to start. I'm going to find the OH group on the other side, and I know I need 2 of them. So over here, there's my OH, and I know I need 2. So I'm good on my OH, but I know that affected my H's. So I need to go to the opposite side and make 2 of my H's. So I'm going to the left. There's the 2 right there. So now my H's are fixed because I knew that was my point of doing this, was to fix my H's. Now I have to worry about my F's. How's my F's doing? So 2 F's. How are my F's over here? Awesome. I've already got 2 F's, so that's great. Do a quick check on my magnesium. It's good, so I'm good on the balancing. You can see how it took me a lot less time in writing to do it that way. So I just wanted you to see that. So now you try this problem and this problem. I really do recommend to make sure that you are trying to be as interactive as possible with these. I'm trying to make it so that it's more of a class experience if at all possible. This left one doesn't have very many parts to it, so I think it'd be a really great one to do the back and forth method. Again, I'm starting with the thing I see a 2 with. Dr. Bean likes to just start on the left, so you can do it that way too if you have a preference. I just like to look for the 2 and then fix things starting at a 2. And if there's no 2s, then I'd start at a 3 or something like that. So the 2 on the left, and then I'm going to go to the right, and I know that I need to fix my chlorine, and I put my 2 in the front. So my chlorines are good, but I know my 2 just influenced my sodium. So I'm going to go to the left and put a 2 in front of him. Double check everything. It all looks good. I'm going to go over to here. So I've got that 2 on the oxygen there. Now here's my hint on the even odd. Even though I said you're going to need a number right here, you're going to drive yourself mad trying to figure it all out with the oxygens. Usually, you want to solve, this goes for most of the problems. You want to solve for oxygen or the things that appear a lot of times last. Because sometimes they'll fix themselves. And that's super nice when that happens. So let's see what happens here. We're going to start with, I'm going to get rid of that 2. And over here, I'm going to notice, here's my first 2. So carbon, I'm going to jump over to the right-hand side. There's just 1 carbon, so I'm going to put a 2 in front. So my carbons are good, but I just influenced my oxygen. Now, if you remember, we've got oxygens on the other side, so we are not going to mess with the oxygens yet. We're going to come back to them. I've just got it in my head. Oh, don't forget about those oxygens. Now I'm going to do my 4. So if I go over to the right-hand side, notice here's my number. I needed a number in there to fix this guy. And look, yep, he's fixed. I've got 4 of him. So now let me figure out my oxygen. So this has given me 4 oxygens, and this is giving me 4 oxygens. That means I need a total of 8 oxygens over here. And since these are pairs, I only need 4. So this kind of a problem is a little different than the other ones. This is a combustion problem, and a lot of combustion problems will feel this way. It'll feel like you're a little off kilter going to try to get the balancing happening, and then at the end, all of a sudden you'll be like, oh wait, I already balanced it? That's kind of how they are. The other examples we've been doing, if you look back. So these, you're going to learn the terms for some of these, but you'll notice that I have like a group of 2 and 1. That's also a group of 2 and a group of 1. And then over here, I got a group of 2 and a group of 2 types of things. Whenever you've got those groups, it's a different kind of balancing. Those are the best ones to balance. But with these combustion ones, that's what this is called, as combustion. We'll talk about them. That's what you have to kind of go back and forth and wait to do the oxygens at the end. So we got another combustion example. Give this one a shot. Notice my carbon. I'm going to have to do something with my carbon. So I'm going to show you both things I'm going to do in just a minute. But you give it a shot first just to have the practice. So there's a 3. So I'm going to put a 3 in front. And again, I know that 3 influences the oxygens, but I want to get my other things taken care of first, my hydrogen. So if I have 2 here, I need a total of 8. So this number needs to be a 4. I'm going to add things up. So over here I've got 6 oxygen and I've got 4 oxygen. So on this side I'm going to need a total of 10 oxygen. I've got them in pairs though, so I just need a 5. Did you see how that worked out back and forth? But it felt a little off at first. And that's just normal for combustions. If you're ever solving these odd even type things and you end up feeling just stuck, like you feel like you keep going back and forth, here's my big tip. I would have erased everything and put a 2 here. It wasn't necessary, but this is just like my little tip here. You're going to have a few these combustions come up that are tricky to balance. So I have a whole series of these reactions that you can now balance yourself. I've got a page of them, and I recommend that you go ahead and you practice them. I'm going to work through them also, but I'm going to put that in another video.